Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 27 with the Cleveland Guardians. To begin with, apologies. I have done the classic Abby thing where I recorded half the video and realized the screen wasn't changing, and that you also lost my audio. So, you're picking this one up in medias res. For those of you that know your Latin, it's in the middle of things. But I think you haven't missed anything too exciting. So let's begin by recapping some comments from the previous video. First of all, Brian Garrett 7094, who pointed out that the old logo of the Whiskey Jacks looks exactly like the Washington Commanders of the NFL. Also pointed out that Chase Louder is slow as fuck. Which is true. It is a true statement. So that's kind of yikes. But he also pointed out that he is slow. The pattern is real had a couple of great comments. First of all, name a more iconic new move than OTP in the eye offering mediocre relievers as trades. It's true. It's been like that since as long as I've been playing OTP. I don't know what it is about the AI that decides I'm going to dangle my 35 overall reliever at you and then expect you to take it. But also had some useful advice, noticing that fatigue may be a little bit tougher in 27. And therefore, if people don't get regular breaks, then they're more likely to get injured. So, shout out to him for that. We'll keep a look on that. An old friend who hasn't commented very much, named AGG92U9Q, says, having a lot of fun with OTB27. I had JJ Weatherholt retire so that he could donate a kidney to his brother. I also saw Bryce Harper make the All-Star game after becoming a catcher, which is wild stuff. Ironhead34, one of the longest people that have been in my videos, so congrats to you. Put out a couple of really funny things, and also something a bit more serious. We'll start with the funny things. Luis Lee Cabrera last year pitched in every single game the entire season, and was one of the worst players in the history of Major League Baseball. Okay, to put it in perspective here, I am a terrible baseball player. I'm absolutely awful. I have not played baseball since I was a kid, and I wasn't very good when I did play. I think pretty confidently I could probably beat a 38, a negative 38 R war, negative 20 war. All you got to do is get one out, and then I'm good. But to say he had a rough season is... How the hell did he win 6 games? I think is even more incredible. But either way, we added some more pitchers to that roster, and it should hopefully fix this issue from happening again. So big shout out to him for surviving, I suppose. Also pointed out he shared a really helpful screenshot. If you want to check it out, you can go to the subreddit to see his little spreadsheet. But Ironhead34 pointed out that coaching personality has a bit more to think about in terms of how to help players. Basically, counterintuitively, the bigger a jerk a manager is, the more likely they're to have successful development. Which is pretty interesting. The Reddit comment is really interesting to look at. It is worth owning. It's just a single season, I think. I don't actually know how long this is running. Ironhead can maybe clarify how long he's been running this particular sim, but it's really interesting stuff. So we will see. I'm eager to see what our actual coaching looks like. He pointed out correctly that the prospect promotion incentive requires that the player must be on the opening day roster and the top 100 prospect list. Velasquez was on the top 100 prospect list, was not on the roster on opening day. So that's why he did not get the incentive for that. And then lastly, he created a beautiful new logo for us for the San Antonio Whiskey Jacks, which is a kind of bird, which I didn't realize. It's a bird. So thank you very much, as always, for your artistry. And let's talk about some actual gameplay. So what you missed, basically, is I went through arbitration, player development, and coach hiring. We're at the point where free agents filed, which is where I realized, oh shit, it's not working correctly. Oops-a-daisy. Take a look here at the nice basic home screen here. So we made a couple of trades. I will review those with you in the email here. I traded Bo Naylor in order to save some money. We picked up an interesting outfielder and a reasonably good relief pitcher, both whom I think could be quite good. We also traded Brian Rocchio, picking up Ryan Wideman. He is 6'5", 250. I don't know how wide he is, but I like the name. We also non-tendered a few players, most of whom aren't terribly consequential, and then offered one-year deals to pretty much everybody else. Award season, the party of Brian Rocchio as well as Stephen Kwan both won Gold Gloves. Kate Smith unanimously won Reliever of the Year. I did a lot of hemming and hawing whether I wanted to keep him. Ultimately, I decided that we wanted to keep him as long as possible because that increased our chance of winning the World Series, and that's what we're here to do. It's not smart for the team in the long run. Don't let me disagree with that. But it is the correct choice for the short term. In addition, a Silver Slugger for Ralphie Velasquez was won, and that's basically all you've missed. Anything else I need to bring up? I don't think so. Let's talk free agents. So we're going to go into opening day presuming that Teres Bazana, despite not being terribly great at it, is going to be our second baseman. With Mason Wynn playing incredibly at shortstop, I'm hoping he'll cover up a lot of his flaws. But it's something we're going to want to monitor as the season progresses, for sure. We're planning on Leonardo Bernal, acquired last year from St. Louis at the deadline when we traded away Arias and Steven. And I think it's the correct choice. I think him and Engel make a pretty good combo at behind the plate. Here's a couple things that I want to add. I want to add a lot of things, but I want to add a couple things in particular. I am not ultra sold on Teres Bazana being our everyday second baseman. If we can find a good second baseman for inexpensive prices, I will probably pick them up. I also want to shore up the bullpen. These are the two things that I think could really benefit from a little bit of talent injection that is unlikely to come from anywhere else. So let's do it. A lot of these guys are very expensive, obviously. Gary Woodlock is the starter, isn't he? Or is he a reliever? He's a reliever. Big energy. He's had pretty good years out of the pen. And $9.5 million for a substantial upgrade is not that big a deal. But I'm pretty sure he wants to be a closer. Nobody wants a 3-year deal. If I'm giving you 3 years, I need to be able to get out of it. That's just how it is. I don't want to be that guy, but I have to be that guy. It must occur, or we shall be quite sad. I wonder if I can copy and paste it. Let's try. It worked. Great. This works for me. I think he offers a substantial upgrade to our current bullpen, while not costing me a gigantic sum of money. So this is probably our big splash. Now let's look at second baseman. I mean, Marco Luciano is basically free, so we can definitely grab him for sure. Nick Gonzalez doesn't interest me that much, to be honest with you. Spencer Steer is not a second baseman. I don't care what the game is trying to tell you. That's inaccurate. Jake Cronenworth is a first baseman, truly. Can I get defense at second base, please? No, not potential. I beg your forgiveness, please, game. I meant this one. And I want it to at least be 55. All right, now we're cooking. Ozzy Albies is fine. I don't really want to spend $7 million though on a stopgap. I think that's very foolish. Jonathan India's an okay choice. He's very inexpensive, and I think he does have a chance to be a useful second baseman. Although I think I'd rather start Bazana if it's between Bazana and India. India is a better defender, but not by that much. Dubon can't hit, but he is a very, very good defender, like all over the field, and I think that makes it useful to add him to the team. So Dubon, I will happily offer you a minor league option if you want to join the Guardians this year. And I think that's all I want. Xavier Edwards could be interesting, but his bat isn't that. The difference, the reason I'm carrying Bazana is because I want his bat. But I also want to give a place for Brady House also, so this is something we're going to want to monitor very closely as the season progresses and swap Bazana out if we need to. But I feel like this is an important year for him. If Bazana has a good year with the bat, certainly better than he had last year, I think he's got a chance to stick around for a while. But he's got to really make a sizable improvement to really be trustworthy here. Yeah. I think I'm good. I think I don't really want anything else free agent wise. I guess I could add another reliever. I've already got a lot of resources invested in relief, though, between Foley, Gaddis, Hentges, Cade Smith. I think we're pretty loaded. We can look for some high potential types to try to sneak in through. I think is fun. Oh, get rid of the filter, please. Nobody. It makes sense. I do need to set up my expansion draft. It is known. Let's have a look. No, I want to see my protection list game. All right, Cade Smith, Cantillo, DeLauder, Velasquez, Wynn, Williams. So this is my first interesting choice here. If I left Jose Ramirez off the roster, I think he'd get taken, which would free up a lot of money for us, but it would make us worse in the short term. And the short term is all they really care about. I'm not going to actively tank the organization by any stretch of the imagination. But I'd be pretty stupid if I traded him without a ready replacement, and I don't think Brady House is that guy yet. So Jose Ramirez, you get to stay. Hunter Gaddis stays. Hentges stays. Quan is making a lot of money, but his contract is very easy to get out of. So even if he isn't a premium player, I still think he is very worthwhile to keep around. Tanner Bybee stays. Foley stays. House stays. I don't care about George Valera. If somebody wants to take him, they're welcome to do it. Cabus I care about slightly more. I think Cabus has it in him to be a useful player. I just don't know that he's going to be a useful player with me. But I like a lot of the skills he has. And I think he's got a chance to be something useful. So I think keeping Capus makes sense to me. Walters makes sense. Dylan Cruz I just traded for. Matt Wilkinson and Opor I want to keep. That's all the greens and above. So they're all staying on the roster, as predicted. Homer Bush Jr. is fine. But given that his whole thing was to be a great defender and he couldn't even manage that, I think Homer Bush is very expendable. Why was he so bad last season? It's not speed. He's got good range. He just didn't perform well. If I break it down a bit more, if we look at his expanded fielding stats here, he makes the routine plays in likely balls and even the even balls. But then when he gets into, I see what it is. I think he plays the game very safely. I think he's not willing to stretch himself more than he actually does. And that could be what held him back. Because he's making the plays he should be making at a very high clip. Remember, even 50%, but look at his unlikely. He's not doing great with that. I think he's also just not getting to a lot of balls, period. So, Bush is problematic. Parker Messick is okay. I'm not going to give him up for nothing, which is what I would be doing. I can only keep 5 more people. I've got to keep my opening day catcher, which is Bernal. I could easily promote Jason Chorio and see a pretty good result at center field. So I think I keep him over Homer Bush Jr. I think Angel Ganao is too useful to me because of his defensive capabilities. So I think he gets to say too. Cantillo's on the list, right? Yeah, he's on the list. Okay, great. Keeping Michael Kennedy on the roster is a bit bold, but I think he's got a lot to offer us. Same with Kyle Scott. And then I think we leave everybody else here unprotected. And we see what happens here. Oh, Joey Cantillo's got to be activated. Noted. Okay. I swear to God, if they had signed on day 1, I would have lost my shit. I would have been very grumpy. But it didn't happen. The Bulldozers and the Screaming Eagles. That's kind of fun. I like the Bulldozer logo. It seems very bulldozer. Like I could see that on the front of a bulldozer. I like that one a lot. Screaming Eagles, I'm fine with for right now. I'm not gonna worry about it. Complete draft. We lost Khalil Watson and George Valera. That doesn't surprise me. Khalil Watson was legitimately an okay player. I just don't have room for him at the moment. And it seems really apropos, right? That I got him in the Charlotte Rules series. I came up with George Valera, and now he departs. I think those are the only 2 guys I lost, right? Because I think you can't lose more than 2 per team, if I remember correctly. I also lost Carson Palmquist, who I completely forgot even existed. So okay, I feel okay with that outcome. Not losing anybody I couldn't afford to lose, which is good. Time to do some Hall of Fame voting. You'd love to see it. Gary Whitlock is probably unnecessary in the grand scheme of things. He doesn't really bring that much to the table that I don't already have. but I'm kind of into it anyway. I'll vote for Dirty Craig, even though I don't think he deserves it. Joey Votto, Chase Utley, Adam Wainwright, Buster Posey, Salvador Perez. Mike Trout should easily sail in. I'm a big believer in King Felix, even though I don't think he's going to make it. Paul Goldschmidt deserves it. Did Alex Rodriguez actually get elected last year? I mean, he should have done for sure, but I don't know that he actually did. I love me some Andrew McCutchen. I keep wanting to call him Dalen McCutchen, but no, that's the guy who used to be a cornerback for the Browns in the 90s. You know my cuts, guys. I like them as deep as possible, and that's a deep one. I think I'm fine with this ballot. I just want to see if he made the Hall of Fame or if they dropped him off the ballot through, like, shenanigans. Oh, this is not that Alex Rodriguez. This is a Alex Rodriguez, but it's not the Alex Rodriguez. This is the guy that we're looking for. How did he get 70% of the vote? And yet the vote hasn't happened yet? What? I'm not going to complain about it, but that's very weird that I can't vote for him anymore. I wonder if that's something OOTP put in, that you can't actually vote for the PED guys, because those Robinson Cano also disappeared. I don't like it if that's actually what happened. I guess I understand it. Oh no, Cano did make the Hall of Fame. Okay, so that's clearly not the issue. Wait, 2027 was inducted? Oh wait, we're in 2028, aren't we? Yes, we are. Can I recall my ballot and just see where the fuck Alex Rodriguez is? Hello? Because Alex Rodriguez still gets his 10 years, so I don't know why he's not eligible to be voted on, but I guess I'm not going to worry about it. I can always just manually force him to be in the Hall of Fame, which I think is probably where he deserves to be, but I'm not that bothered by it. Maybe if he had played for one of my teams, I'd care a little bit more. Garrett Whitlock joins the Guardians. Hell yeah. I'm not saying it's the kind of deal that's going to win us the World Series, but it increases our chances. We've got to find whatever we can. I'm not guaranteeing you a major league deal. I think I've got Angel Ganao, who can play your position just as well. And that is what it is. All right, Rule 5 draft time. I should have room to add somebody, do I not? What is with how slow the game is performing? It's like a half beat off here and there. It's very frustrating. All right, guys, I'm going to wave all three of you. And then I can add on a meaningful Rule 5 guy, perhaps. Skylar Hales is okay. He's actually really okay. I'm intrigued. Let's add him to the team. All players, question mark? Didn't I just claim you? Oh, did I not hit the button? I think I'd skip this pick instead of draft player. Wait, what? Game, what is happening here? There's some real lag all of a sudden that I'm not a big fan of. I don't know why. You can see it a little bit if I go up and down the list, see how it's like stuttering a bit. I probably just need to like reboot the game or something. Either way. Now auto draft until my next pick. Yeah, I can't Rule 5 draft Caesarini because, oh man, I actually wanted to keep Jason Chorio. Damn. I feel really stupid now because that was actually a guy that I really wanted to keep. Victor Arias is kind of interesting, but not really a center fielder. I guess he'd be okay as a center fielder, right? I guess there's value in that. We can grab him. Ooh, Homer Bush Jr. got claimed. Oh, no. Although now that I don't have Jason Churio, it seems even stupider to let Homer Bush go, but c'est la vie. Are there any decent center fielders left? Anthony Huetzo is a really good center fielder. Like, he's very, very good at it. I will add you to my team as well, Mr. Huetzo. And I think that's all I want. I don't think I want anything else. We could look at second base. Woody Hadim would actually be a fairly solid addition to this team. Let's do it. Let's get him in here. And then I think we're done with the Rule 5. I think getting 5 players in the Rule 5 draft is pretty good. Losing Jason Chorio hurts. I really think there was a chance that I could have gotten something really special. With a little bit of luck. Well. That's what you get. That's what you get. Is this in Victor Arias as part of the trade with the Cardinals? No. Different guy. Alrighty then. Have you lost your fucking mind? Absolutely not. I already know JT Real Muto is going to cost you a shit ton of money. The answer is no. It shall always be no. It will always be no. I do want to get involved in the national free agent signing, don't I? Yeah, this is really weird. I'm going to try and experiment, you guys. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to reload the game and see if it runs smoother. Be right back. All right, we're back. I want to quickly show off. Yeah, look at that. The bar's moving a lot faster. The stuff is happening the way it needs to happen. Okay, that was the issue. Just need to be rebooted. Duly noted, game. Duly noted. Whee. Okay. So let us simulate up to international signing bonus. People are on track and or frustrated. I really want to get Travis Bazana to do some fielding work too. I'm hoping Mason Wind is such a good shortstop that he'll cover for him, but if it's not, then we may need to evaluate differently. But a world in which Travis Bazana can play even mediocre second base is a world in which we're better off. Definitely. All right, my friends. get ourselves an elite talent here. Moises Padilla looks incredible. Like, he's an offensive dynamo. 100%. The only thing he's not very good at, I think he's a mediocre outfielder, but he's such a good hitter and he's such a good clubhouse guy that I think we just take him and we don't even think about it. Oh, we got one of these issues happening. Yeah, fine. If you are 18 years old, you shall be promoted. I have no idea what accent I was going for there. Maybe Russian, but either way. I wish the game would give you a warning when your international complex is full. Like, just give me like a little bit of hey, look out, jerk, kind of thing, you know? No. I'm gonna do $6.9 million. Get in my organization immediately. You can hang out with Jose Ramirez, and it might even let you win a Mario Kart. That's a lie. He will never let you win a Mario Kart, but we got him. Yeah, it is so random to me that Alex Rodriguez wasn't even on the ballot. Trout and Kimbrel both sailed in, which is nice. It's really weird. It's very, very strange, and I don't know how to come to grips with it. Okay, Alex Rodriguez wasn't actually like up, was he? He didn't have 10 years on the ballot. Or maybe he did. No, we had 5 years on the ballot. Oh, you know what's going to happen here, guys? Because this just bothers me, and there's no good reason for it. If they voted in Robinson Cano, but not Alex Rodriguez, presto changeo, he's a Hall of Famer. Now, see, I want you to know that I could, if I wanted to, use this power for evil and like induct Kenny Lofton, but I'm not going to do it. I'm trying to be a good human being, and good human beings don't automatically induct all their favorites into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I should have for Bonds and Clemens too. You know what? It's my game, right? Bonds, you're in. Clemens, you're in. That feels good. Okay. Wow. You okay, Roger? That face is Then look at my face. Holy hell. My eyes are so small. My eyes aren't that small, are they? Dislike. All right, gentlemen, ladies, and friends of all genders, shapes, and sizes. It's advance of the preseason. Hey, look, unfucking surprisingly, you didn't get what you thought you were owed. Ooh, a rule change has been announced. 7 years to reach free agency. Interesting. So we now get 4 years at the league minimum. That's very interesting. I'm sorry, Shane Bieber signed for $200 million? What the fuck? Look, I am one of Shane Bieber's biggest fans, and that is comically stupid. Wow. I just don't, you guys. I just don't. I'm unable to do it. My brain will not process such nonsense. Wow. I like Shane Bieber a lot. Don't get me wrong, but he is not worth $200 million. He just isn't. Unless you're signing him for like 200 years, maybe. Then he's worth it. I think in my head I am badly underestimating how much pictures are going to get signed in real life, though. That's a thing. Already got 40 guys. What about Jace Laviolette? What about Ryan Cesarini? And Marco Luciano and Alfonso that guy. That's his real name, by the way. It's Alfonso that guy. If you don't believe me, then you shouldn't be so mistrustful. Joe, I love Lamp. Sure. All right. Nobody else I'm particularly excited into giving more time yet. Caceres here is mighty fine, but he's not ready for the majors yet. I will promote him, though. He's definitely ready for double A. That's for certain. Alex Garcia can repeat high A, and that doesn't bother me. Devin Sheeran could have probably used a promotion. He spent 2 years. Yeah, we'll promote him. I think we can see him get some action in Double A. Give me a 6-man rotation, please, and thank you. I'm going to put Joey Cantillo right back on the IL so that we have a proper game. I really don't want him to be a follower. I don't like followers. I don't think they're useful. I think it's nonsense. Either start a guy or don't start him, but don't make followers a thing. Hunter Geddes as a starting pitcher is not going to happen. I don't get this game sometimes, you know? Braylon Dowdy, you know what? You just came off of a pretty good season in Double A. No, wait, that's not the correct answer. It's Matt Wilkinson, isn't it? Yeah, Matt Wilkinson, get in there. I am absolutely not playing Hunter Geddes as a fucking relief pitcher. That's silly. That is sillier than Silly Sills Still Factory, I guess. Look, I never claimed they were all great, all right? All depth charts and lineups. Dylan Cruz in center field is a choice. It's a bad choice, but it's one I'm fine with happening during the during spring training, I suppose. Get him some experience at an unusual position. Jose Ramirez DHing so Ralphie Velasquez can play first is also a choice. I think Travis Bazana needs to work in spring training, so I think I have to make that choice. Even if the AI won't. Like, it's spring training. The purpose of spring training is to get guys lots of experience. So, Mr. Banana, get in there and play second, please, and thank you. Oops. Second base. And then you are playing Bernal, right? Yeah, you are playing Bernal. So let's get him some more playing time here. I'm not saying he has to play every single day, but to leave him off the rotation at all is never going to work for me. All right, let's simulate some time. Some really good improvements here. Excellent news. Let's get some defensive work in. Do we want to train Ralphie Velasquez to play better first base? I guess. Where is Le Banana? Here he is. Improve your defense, nerd. Brady House, improve your defense, nerd. Dylan Cruz, improve your outfield defense, I suppose. Brayton Montgomery is already pretty good, but he can work on his defense too, I suppose. Defense. Ganau works on defense. Any prospects that need to learn a new position, actually, I should be asking? Maluso Arte is never going to play anywhere but first base, so I'm not worried about this one. He doesn't have the skills to play anywhere else. The difference between Mike Ricketts being a good prospect and a great one is his ability to catch, so we're going to have you work on that. Done. Let's simulate a bit longer then. 2 weeks for Hunter Gaddis is no big. Just put him on the IL so I don't have to worry about him missing any of the regular season, please. Wilkinson is marginally better. A bunch of people are like just about the same, but vaguely better. Braylon Dowdy lost a bunch of stamina. Bozana does look better. Brady House looks better. Luciano looks worse. Lipscomb looks better. I don't even know who you are. All right. David Briones is already losing some pretty serious overall, which makes me very sad. What has he lost that makes him like he's just lost across the board? He lost a lot of his ability to pick out walks, and I think that's going to hurt him pretty substantially. I know that not every first round pick works out, but that makes me sad. It makes me big sad. Oh well. These things happen. I just don't want JT Real Muto. I'm not going to take it. I get why you're offering him. You look at my team and you think, oh, you need a premium catcher. I am not paying money for a real catcher. Not at this stage in our career. We're not a catcher away from the World Series. We are mostly luck away from the World Series. So take away here. Losing Braylon Dowdy is really stinky. But okay. I actually had a lot of hopes from being a useful pitcher, but evidently tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Bozana is pretty smart. He's really working to get better at defense, which I greatly appreciate. He doesn't have to be the second coming of like Robbie Alomar. He just has to be pretty good. Pretty good is the only requirement that I have for him. Or Bill Mazeroski for a deeper cut, or for another guy with a great reputation at second base. You're fine. You're fine, Jose. Don't be a weirdo. All right, let's get the roster trimmed. No injuries, so we don't get that favor done for us. I have 17 pitchers. I don't need 17 pitchers. I need 14 pitchers. 13 pitchers. Caden Favors, AAA. Bridger Holmes off the team. Oppor to the minors. Hartle to the minors. Down to 13, exactly what I wanted. None of you... Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, this is the solution to that problem. Never mind. It's Gavin Williams. Nah, he's not going to be ready to go for opening day. Understandable. Emergency starter, and then you're the middle reliever that gets used at every opportunity. This bullpen is crazy sick. So I think this pitching staff's got a lot of promise to it. Not the least of which is Joey Cantillo returning. Once he gets back, I think we're going to be in reasonably good shape. It's got a whole lot of position players to sort through. I do not need 3 catchers. Is there any benefit to keeping Cozart over Engel? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Engel's just the better player, like, across the board. I mean, defensively, Engel's a better outfielder. He is technically a better catcher, it's true. Or Cozart is a better catcher, but no, the answer is Engel. Jace LaViolette and CJ Cavus will go back to the minors. Rodriguez, Brennan, Advincula, Rosario, Pereira. Oh, Pereira has to be waived? I don't care. Why can't I designate you for assignment? If somebody wants Pereira, they can have him. Who's going to start at center field is a great question, and I don't know that I have a great answer for you. Mr. I Love Lamp can go back to the minors for sure. Cruz is not a center fielder. He just isn't. Get into a corner, please, and then we can evaluate you correctly. Look, you're not playing over DeLauder, right? Like, that's never going to happen. Lipscomb and Cesarini both go to the minors. I like Hueto a great deal more than I like Arias, so I think Arias gets to go home. I think Dylan Cruz would benefit from more time at AAA, I think. Yeah, see, you're not letting me waive him, which is very rude. May have to wait to do it until opening day. Brennan Jones is promising, but I think can profitably return to the minors. Luciano might stick on the roster. I haven't decided yet. I've got to get rid of 5 infielders. Ganao definitely gets to make the opening day roster. So the question is, do I keep Angel Martinez? And I think the answer to that is no. He can go to the minors. Dubon, you may return to the minor leagues as well. But I kept the wrong catcher. How dare I? No, Coop Ringle's my dude. Foreign position players got to go. I do not need 6 outfielders. So, but it's going to be Pereira. It's going to be the odd man out anyway. So we're going to keep Montgomery on the roster. We're going to keep Hueso, Kwan, Cruz, and DeLauder. I think Woody Hadeen returns to his home club. Luciano goes to the minors. And then Mr. Pereira here. We're going to wait till opening day and the designate him for assignment. So let me set all the lineups, please and thank you. Steven Kwan 100% is at the top of the lineup again, and just as clearly, Chase DeLauder is going to hit second. Actually, is it as clear? Or is it Mason Wind that hits second? I know Ralphie Velasquez hits cleanup. That much I know very clearly. Yeah, and then Jose Ramirez is going to keep hitting third. He's still fine at third base, but if Brady House is better, which he is, then we can happily let Jose Ramirez DH for a year. Because unless he's willing to take a pretty substantial pay cut, he's not going to be on this club next year. So Brady House gets to slide in and play some third base for us, which leaves Mason Wind to hit sixth. I think a perfect place to bat him. Then it's the banana. And then is Hueso playing center? I think he is. I think he's the best fit for center field at this juncture. And then Bernal is going to be the backup. Or is going to be the catcher. I don't mind Ganal playing frequently, but I don't want him playing that frequently. Once a week is fine. I want Chase DeLauder never playing center field. Braden Montgomery can be the backup. There's no universe in which Chase DeLauder is ever going to play center field again because of how slow he is. Is Pereira any good at center field? He's tolerably good. All right, pull him off of waivers, and we're actually going to demote Dylan Cruz then. I think that just makes more sense to me. Pereira is far more capable of being a center fielder than he is. You will not be starting that frequently. You'll be starting once a week. You'll be starting once a week. Copy depth chart, paste depth chart. And then we just sum up to opening day. Easy peasy, like. I did not know that the diameter. Oh, picture one is 18 feet. That's very exciting news. The banana is substantially better at second base now. That's incredible. All right, I no longer feel bad about putting him at second. I think he's going to be real good. Top 100 prospects. I doubt we have any. I'm sure we have top guys in the top 100, right? I have the number 10 farm system thanks to Brian Minguela, who's not that good. Okay, fine. I'm not going to question it. I'm going to take the dub. Does anyone need a 40-man spot? Nope. All right. So how do I feel about this team? I think the pitching is going to be kind of rough, especially the rotation. I'm not saying the rotation is incapable, but I'm saying that it doesn't have a lot of top-end talent that I can really feel consistently good about putting out there every day. I think Joey Cantillo will substantially improve the rotation once he returns. I think the bullpen is unironically the best in baseball. I think Garrett Whitlock was an amazing addition and is going to make us that much stronger at what was already a strength for us. Got a little bit of money to play with here. Lineup wise, there's a lot of new guys being asked to do an awful lot. Consider that last season, only the top 4 guys were on the roster on opening day. I think that tells you something. There's a lot riding on Brady House, but I think he's capable of it. I think if Brady House can turn into a guy that we think he can turn into, he's going to make an excellent third baseman, and somebody we can be proud of as a successor to Jose Ramirez. Mason Wynn was brought in to be a big gun, somebody that can take hold of this team and take it to the next level, and I think a full season of him is only going to help us with that. The Banana did not open last year on opening day, but he did play some. And now it's a question of, can he build on what was a pretty terrible Major League debut? It's hard to be a lot worse than that. Hueso, we know very little about him, but he seems like he's going to be a pretty premium tier defender with enough base running chops that even a mediocre bat is going to be lifted and carried to the correct level. And Leonardo Bernal is not going to be as good as Bo Naylor, but he's going to be close. And he's an incredible hitter with pretty good defense. So, yeah. I think there's a very wide range of possibilities for this team. It is a young team, other than Jose Ramirez, which has both strengths and weaknesses. The big strength being that we could expect big leaps from most of the players on this list. We'd also see big decreases from players just as easily. So I think this roster is very deep, but I also concern myself quite deeply, pardon the pun, with the upper minors. I think we've got some people I could replace without too many tiers. I think Jace LaViolette has a chance to replace Velasquez if he got hurt. I think Cesarini could fill in at an outfield spot with some skill, although not particularly elitely. I think CJ Kafis is fine and could fill in if we needed to, but if we took the wrong injuries at the wrong time, I think we would be in a lot of trouble. I think that's the great weakness of this franchise, is I don't have a lot of Major League ready top-end talent. Do I want to mess with the minors? Not right now. We can do that next episode. But that's the end for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, apologies that you missed a tiny sliver of it because of OBS being weird, but we got it all sorted. Until next time, my friends, this has been AppGuardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.